Yeah, thank y'all too, man. I appreciate everything too. I appreciate everything everybody do, man. Yeah, I appreciate the teachers and the alumni and everything, man. So just gratitude, man, and gratitude for the opportunity to do that. Yep, I just made it back home. I'm home now. So thank them for picking me up, man, and just gratitude for everything, brother. And to all the students, man, tell them I said thank you. To all the professors, tell them I said thank you, and all the people that was there catering this morning, man, tell them everything was beautiful, man. The breakfast was beautiful. The response was beautiful, man. And all I have is gratitude for GCU and the staff and everything, man. So nothing but gratitude from my end. Nothing but gratitude. Yep, yep, yep. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, it was an honor, bro. Like I said, it was an honor. It's always an honor. Yep. Yeah. It's no problem. I can do it. But you just have to let me know ahead of time. Yeah. Not this semester. Right. Right. Yep. Okay. I probably could though, but it's not. It won't make a difference. If it won't make a difference, man. Gratitude. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say is gratitude, bro. Everything. Yeah, I'm live now. Okay, thank you, bro. Yeah, man. Just gratitude, everybody today, man. I just wanted to share some things and share a little bit of history and a little bit of conversations that I had to have. Well, not a, that I was able to have on a college campus, and as I share history with a lot of my brothers and sisters and with students, especially those in the African American department. All I got to do is say all I have is gratitude. But I had lost my degree, and I just got a new one. I got some more of my alumni pins given to me as well from GCU. I got my dual master's degree from GCU, and like I said, I had lost, or what I say, misplaced my degree, so I got another one. And you see, it has my bay on there, and this is from Grand Canyon University. So I want to just give all the students, man, all the faculty, and everybody that like to listen to me and hear me when I come on the campus gratitude, and thank y'all, man, for getting my replacement degree with my bay on it. When I say I'm not here to disrespect anyone, I'm just here as an educator and a teacher. I know who I am, and so this is my dual master's degree from Grand Canyon University in Christian leadership and history, which I teach all science. I also have certificates from my Islamic brothers and sisters as a teacher, as a map and a guide. Also, my certificates from IDMR. But this is my one of my college degrees that I earned out here in Grand Canyon University, and I cross-studied. So I have a master's degree in Christian history and religion with a minor in linguistics and first century history and etymology. I was able to cross-study when I was getting my degree. And as you see, it has Kari Hakeem Goodman Bey on there. I also have my undergrad in business management with a minor in marketing and sales and nonprofit business startup from Clear University. And I'm going to be going back to Flint, Michigan and doing the speaking. Man, you got to know you in the mirror, man. You got to, he said, this is what the person, I thought the Star Spangled Banner is supposed to be on the left and our Moorish flag on the right. You got to understand, you look in mirror, sir. You're looking at a mirror per se. So when you're looking in the camera, and then with respect, a lot of things that we think mean something, it really don't. But just to clear up what you're saying, you're looking in the mirror per se. So when you're looking at a picture, it's on the right, if you understand. But hey, it is what it is. A lot of things we say what we think, but a lot of things, like I said, I'm not here to argue with no one. I'm just here to talk to my people. I'm not one of those radical Moorish Americans. I tell everybody they can do whatever they want to do. You are free. You are an American. I'm not here to tell nobody what to do. And I just challenge everybody to do as they please. And if you think it's right, and if it's right to your God or whatever you believe in, that's fine. But I'm definitely not here to argue with nobody or say what they thought or what they believe. I challenge everyone to do their own study and do their own research and operate on truth and operate on love. And that's where it stops for me. So I'll be going back to Michigan and speaking at the new graduates this year. And I'll be getting my other degree with my Bay on there. I just wanted to show that. But we had an amazing day this morning, man. We had a good lunch. I met some new students coming in. I met a lot of students from Africa and Europe. You know, I met a lot of different students because I'm part of the student union. They call it the round table of scholars at GCU, where they just have brothers and sisters come in to speak to different people and just give them encouragement, no matter what so-called race they are, no matter what so-called religion they are. I don't operate on that. I know who I am. And so I just come to help people and meet people where they are. And if they want to learn culture and different ways of how people live, I'm all for that. But I'm never, ever, ever, ever one of those brothers that do that. You know. So that's what I tell everyone, man. I just give everybody peace and love. And as I travel to universities, as I travel to different religious houses, I just operate on love. And it's a lot of things that we get off the internet that's not valid. It's just what it is. And a lot of times when people say they study, our studies, peace, Empress, our studies should go outside to the way we live and to the people that we come into every day, not just in a group of people on the internet, because a lot of people on the internet you'll never see. They're not approachable, you know? And so a lot of us, we brag about not being academically trained. Oh, thank you for the donation. We brag on, how can I say, being illiterate. A lot of us, they talk the white man this, the white man that. Well, that has nothing to do with Moorish science. And I don't operate on that. Is there some that's radical? Yes, you have radical everything. You got the radical Black Hebrewites. You got radical this. You got some radical Christians. You got some radical Moors. You got some radical pro-right, pro-Black people. You got all those people. You even got those radical Democrats and the radical Republicans that try to tell you what to believe in. And I'm not one of those people. You got a lot of people that say, oh, you're not this sheik. No, I'm not your sheik. I'm a sheik of a lot of brothers and sisters all over the globe. And people see who's under the auspices. So I'm never here to argue with no one. No one can ruffle my feathers. with nothing. I just ask all my brothers what's happening in the world today. We should treat each and every one of us with a certain level of respect. Just like in academia, if I'm your teacher and your kids say, or you say you homeschooling your kid on, say, I'll say physics or even a form of mathematics, and you teaching them wrong per se, and when they come take the test, they say, well, my mom and my dad told me this was right, and I thought it was right. And I say, but I marked you wrong. It's not right. And I'm not marking you wrong just for a reason. I mark you because they may have been sincere, but they are sincerely wrong. So a lot of time our brothers and sisters be sincere, but they sincerely wrong. And when they be checked on scholarship and on history, we continue to promulgate something that's a belief system or something or a belie. We say, well, I thought, and I challenge my brothers and sisters, you don't have to think nothing. And a lot of us do research, a lot of us do study every day. But I ask my brothers and sisters, what are we studying? Are we studying something that we can use that make us better? Are we studying something with our wives and children? I ask every man on social media, do you have a wife? Yep. Do you have children? Yep. Do your children believe how you believe? Do your wife believe how you believe? Because I wouldn't be promulgating nothing to nobody outside of my house until I've resurrected my house first. I don't go around trying to tell man what to believe in. I know who I am, and I sit down with my wife and I sit down with my family before I go out in the highways and byways. I don't even talk about science on my 9 to 5 and when I was working multiple jobs because I don't, during those times, I'm working. And so I'm not here to convert no one. I'm not here to sway no one belief. What I am here for is an educator and a scholar and a brother. What I do know is we will disrespect our own brothers and sisters way before we disrespect a European or a police officer or someone on the job that's giving you a check. I know a lot of Moorish brothers on this internet, and they jump on the internet and talk all that stuff about the misnomer white man, but you go to work for these people. Your wife go to work for these people. And so we always playing this color game. And I ask my brothers and sisters, what do we have on our own? What are we teaching our brothers and sisters? Because when you learn something, it shouldn't make you hateful. It should make you spiteful. It should make you look at your brother or your sister as an enemy. Because none of my brothers and sisters are my enemy. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what banner you operate under. What I do understand, there should be a common denominator we should have. What? And that should be peace and love amongst us. When we walk out the door, we shouldn't disrespect each other on the internet and show people that we don't love each other. And then for the pro-black people to say, well, Black lives matter and this and that and the other, or a religious brother or even Moorish brothers, they argue with each other on the internet. And I'm like, that is crazy. You're not going to see the European Jews doing that. You're not going to see different nationalities do that. You're not going to see that. They're going to walk out the house with understanding. They are going to agree to disagree. But we should be able to break down the facts because in a court of law, there is no excuse of not knowing the law. And you can't arbitrarily explain the law in a court of law. So what do a lot of misnomer Black people do? They get behind people that they like or what they said or something that sound good. But a lot of times it can be based arbitrarily. It can be based on no facts. Just like if I was defending you in a court of law, I don't care how you feel. I don't care if we friends. I need the facts. And when the facts are presented in front of me and I can dissect the facts and prove that what you're saying is not right, I can't defend you in a court of law. Why? Because one, a lot of our people, they don't operate on the facts of the matter. They operate on how they feel and they emotional. Anytime someone don't look like you or say something that you don't like, a lot of misnomer Black people, they get emotional. And I've seen that with a lot of Moors. I see that with a lot of religious people. I see that with politics. We can't sit down and get to a common denominator. We have to say or act like this is better than that, or this is better than that. And I say, well, why don't it take all of us? Why don't it take the misnomer Black man, the Moorish, the so-called Israelite, all those that's under the sound of my voice to come together and understand that we are the people and get out of this color black and white thing, or Democrat or Republican, or Christian or Muslim, and all that, or Hebrew Israelite. That's where I'm at with it as a person that's in America, because I love America. I'm an American. What type of American I am? I'm a Moorish American. I tell every Moor when they talk about they want to expatriate from this so-called de facto government, I say, okay, we'll do that. Then where are you going to go? Who are you affiliated with? You would be stateless. You would be a domestic terrorist right here, right home. And so a lot of things our brothers and sisters say when these so-called older people on the internet that's older, that have nothing, tell you to do this and do that, but they not doing it. They'll tell you to give up your license, but they have a driver. They'll tell you that don't pay your rent and all your bills, and then you get kicked out of your house. And then it's no real counseling of no so-called Moors. That's all TV stuff. Them dudes were going to jail, locked up right now, begging you for donations for them to get a court-appointed attorney. And a lot of stuff they say holds no value in law. I just was in Flint, Michigan. I just seen a empress get evicted from her house from listening to these people on the internet, lost her whole house. The social workers came and took her kids from her. And now they hit me up in private, like, oh, well, I was lied to. And I said, I've been telling you that. I've been telling you you was lied to. If you're not willing to take the time to educate yourself and look up state law and local law, we talking all this federal stuff, but don't understand local law and state law. And a lot of times you will put yourself in a burning house. And when it's time to be defended, none of those people is there because they using you as a crash dummy. And what do our people do? They go get a court-appointed attorney. How do I know? Because I look up their cases. It's Free Information Act. I know a lot of the judges in Detroit, especially out here in Arizona. A lot of them are my professors. So when anytime a Moor be on the docket, I'm able to pull it up and sit there and laugh. So I don't come from no disrespect to no one. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be trying to make up something and say it's two different laws. And then when you get abused by those that administer the law, then the first thing misnomer black people do is they get a court-appointed attorney, especially Moors. And then I ask them, what does your wife think about what you're doing? Do your children want to be like you, especially men that have boys? What do your son want to be? Do your son want to be like you? Do your mother and father respect what you're doing, or do they feel you a radical and you just lost your mind by just watching videos and seeing all these people talk about they some sovereign citizen and they not part and the laws don't pertain to them? Well, who they pertain to? Because our prophet never said that you was some foreign national. Our prophets, and I don't even know what the hell a foreign national is. That's an oxymoron again. Our prophet said that we are Moorish Americans. And we abide by certain laws that govern this world. If you have, and especially Moors, when I break down, hold on one second. When I break down how the temple was set up, how Noble Drew Ali set the temple up, I tell people just take the time to read this. Nobody have to assume or think. Every police officer have this. Every court have this. And they use our own bylaws and our own divine creed and our nationality and our bylaws to bust every sovereign citizen head. The first thing they ask these radicals, are you part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, for the record? And then they say, yes. And then they look them up and they say, where? Because if you are, you should have your membership from the Moorish Science Temple of America, which a lot of Moors don't have. They jump into science off the internet, which is fine. Because you don't have to be a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America to know that you're a Moor. I'm going to break that down. But Noble Drew Ali set the Moorish Science Temple up in a certain manner and a certain manifestation, and it's free information. Everyone have it. And when people be jumping on the internet saying, well, Noble Drew Ali taught this and Noble Drew Ali taught that, they sit up there and laugh, and you be convicted by the words that you don't know or the words that we believe, and how the temple is set up is right here. It's right here. And even the brothers and sisters that put this out, when I don't like to say names, because a lot of people, when you start reading the things and you look them up, you say, oh, these people went to jail and got all these people arrested for filing fake taxes. But then they get on the internet and say Moors don't pay taxes. Well, if that's the case, why are you having these brothers file fake taxes? And why you go to jail? And why all these people go to jail? And why you send your people into a burning house? Because most misnomer black people during COVID, when everybody had a lot of time to sit at home and all they was doing is on the internet, more science became popular. And everybody was like, oh, we sovereign citizens. We're going to cancel corporate debt. And you had all these people saying those things. But when you see them in the flesh, like I'm able to do, they say, well, I think they taking our words out of context. And I say, well, I think it's important for you to get back on there and tell them the truth. And now all these people done got killed. All these ladies that got killed, thinking they sovereign citizens, thinking there's some special law, taking fake paperwork to the banks and taking fake paperwork to the courthouses, getting their head busted, wearing some 8822 badge, saying that you some Moorish consulate general of Morocco, saying that you the Moroccan president, and they go straight to jail. When they talk about they don't have to have driver's license and they get abused. And then what do? They get a court-appointed attorney. Everything what I'm saying, nothing is illegal about Moorish science. So if you want to know how the temple is set up, it's right here. And then you do have some people that's part of the temple that's not right. You're going to have some people that's not right in everything. That's why as an adult, you should be able to use your hippocampus. You should be able to, if someone talking, they should be able to give you the research and the information so you can make a valid decision. How? Based off the facts, not based off how you feel or what sound good or thinking you're going to get something. That's all I be telling brothers and sisters. That's all I be saying to my Moorish brothers and sisters. But the first thing we do, a lot of times that I've seen a lot of adult males, they pick a side like Crips and Bloods, or they Paru, or they folks, or this and all that. And I say, that is not Moorish science. Not jump behind someone that say something and this and everything else. Moorish science is not a whole bunch of uneducated brothers and sisters that dropped out of school in the 3rd grade and brag and say, oh, education is some white man stuff. But that's not true, because the first university was created in Salamanca in Spain. And I asked these brothers and sisters, what do you want your son or your daughter to aspire to? I asked everyone, and you know what they say? I want my son to go get a good education. I said, if that's the case, why you don't want a good education? Why you don't want one? Why? And everything that I speak on, even when people be talking about some 10-10-9-9 is some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. I show you letters from the CCRD, which is the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds, telling you that that's false. And all this stuff is old. But like I said, there's going to be a lot of more brothers and sisters that fall with the Titanic, because we choose and act like this Moorish science is, I don't know, some criminal behavior or whatever they want to make up arbitrarily as they go. So I had a chance to speak in the African American department today. Like I said, I had got my degrees with my Bay on them, because some of my degrees when I got them didn't have my Bay or L. And so I was able to get those, especially my dual master's degree from GCU. And a lot of stuff I talk about, I'm able to speak on a college campus with educators, with people from the continent of Africa, with people from the so-called Middle East, with a lot of so-called imams, with a lot of my, my Coptic Christians from Africa, a lot of my Twahedo people from Ethiopia, Abyssinia. And what we do, we talk and we have conversations. We never disrespect each other, because a lot of this stuff has just became popular. Just like a lot of people say, oh, your tassel should be this way, that way. My tassel flows freely. I'm not bound by no man. My tassel flows freely. There's no triangle under my eye. When a lot of people say, oh, you should pray, well, turn to the east. All those are, traditions. The closest place to find God or Allah is in your heart. I don't care which way you turn. If your heart is not pure, all those outward things what man tell you to do, I thought this. And I'm not talking about anyone. I'm just saying, well, that's what we do. Well, I thought this. Based off what? Tradition. A lot of things we do is based off tradition. It's not based on any facts. It's not based on nothing. I have my whole colleagues from GCU, because I have 3 social medias up and I got my other media up, and my professor was like, can you show them your new degree with your bay on it? Like, this is my dual master's degree that I got from Grand Canyon University. This is my dual master's degree. When I tell people I'm not against science, I'm not against nobody's spirituality. How can I be that? And I'm an official of science. I'm an official of Christian studies, Islamic studies, history, law, and civics, first century history, religion, the medieval time, the dark ages. I lecture in the misnomer African-American department. I lecture in Christian churches. I lecture at all religious houses out here in Arizona. I lecture at the European Jewish Church. I tell everybody, they call me Melchizedek. I tutor a lot of their kids. A lot of their kids, which a lot of people never heard of, Angelo Solomon, the first Moorish Mason. So I'm not here to argue with no one. What I do be asking my brothers and sisters, that the majority of us, they didn't grow up Islamic. Your mama, your dad, your big mama, they went to the church. And all churches are not bad. We take those and use it as speaking points. I know a lot of churches and ministers that speak the truth. And a lot of them are Europeans because they're educated. They didn't go to seminary and be taught like a dog. They educated like myself. Just like I shared on my Facebook page the other day, I've gathered and compiled almost 20 books. I got 11 of them out for publication on my own platforms. They can get my books, mypdfbooks.com, download it on your tablet, or my other company, bindedbooks.com. Mypdfbooks.com is with the Z. And all my college professors, all the college students out here at GCU, Arizona State, Arizona Christian College, all this, what is called Peoria Community College, where I lectured at, they have all my books. I have a full library with over 1 million books. So I'm never getting on here to argue with my brothers and sisters. But a lot of times, that's what we do. And like I said, I have an undergrad in business with a minor in marketing and sales and nonprofit business startup. I help people set their business up. I help people get their articles of organization. I set people up on the Duns and Bradstreet. I educate people on what Quick 30 accounts is and how to set yourself up as a business and set half of your house up as your office. I show people how to claim their car and their clothing if you a minister. I operate under the law. I'm never here to argue with no one. I just help college students get food trucks and show them how to put their money together as a unit. And now they winning. I took 20 college students. They got hell of a food trucks out here, got moving companies. They put their money together. I show people how to be ministers and use the laws. Because when you're a minister, you tax exempt for the federal government. That's religious, charitable, scientifically, educational. I'm not here to argue with no one. I'm here to show us how to win and show us how to have a religious community. That's my whole mission. I have an expertise. I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters, especially those that call themselves Moors, especially those that call themselves misnomer Black, Negro, African American, Hebrew Israelite, Christian, Muslim. What understanding I came to is that we are so separate. And the European Jews, they come together. They don't disrespect each other. They're not on the internet when an educator, when a scholar is speaking. They ask questions. And then they get the research. And then they walk out the house synchronized, hand in hand. Just like when I tell people in my city of Flint, the Moorish Science Temple of America is on ML King. I think it's across the street from Gundry School. I think that school was. Pull it up. It's not operating because most people, they want to be somebody. And if you're not the one, the educated one, if you're not anointed, if you're not consecrated, what happens with a lot of misnomer Black people and men? It ends because it's all ego. And when I deal with women, what did you see? They loving on each other. When I go back to the city of Flint, I used to go to the Thumb Correctional Facility. One of my best friends, which is my little cousin, is Dirty. Anybody of my people on here on my YouTube, y'all know who Dirty is. I've been to the prisons and speak to people. The wardens know me. They say, well, you're the only Moor that's going to be able to come in these prisons and speak. And they say, why? Because they say, you don't speak no sovereign citizen stuff. You ain't speaking on trying to overthrow no government. I said, how? I don't. That's why I'm able to go in all houses. That's why I get donations and things. That's why I was able to graduate from university with honors, talking just like this. Talking just like this. I didn't change the way I speak. I didn't take my fez off. I didn't take my kufi off. I didn't take my turban off or my shemag. They knew everything about me. And so the first thing I ask Moors when they arbitrarily explain things, if you want to know anything about the Moorish Science Temple of America, I have the booklet. It's free information. It's public access. So we don't have to think when we see a lot of radicals that's on the internet talking about the white man this or talk about education is the white man and this. That's asinine. If you are the teachers of the world, how can it be the white man's this if you call yourself the fathers of civilization? How can it be? How can it be? How are we ignorant people? And then I ask these brothers and sisters, do you have children? Yep. And I ask them, what do you want your child to be? I want my child to get the best education. Okay. Are you educated? No. Are you going to be able to teach your kids something? I'm going to homeschool my kid. What are you going to homeschool your child on? Most of these brothers and sisters do not have a library. I asked brothers and sisters, what's the last book that you read? They couldn't even tell you. They look for quick, I call it that shake weight era. They looking for something to say somebody owe them something. And don't nobody owe us nothing. We should come together and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps instead of being wasteful. But we can't. Why? Because everybody wants to be somebody God. And I'm just a teacher, a map, a guide, Melchizedek. I'm just a sensei. I'm just a Sufi. That's it. I'm nobody's God. I teach everybody that you are gods. You all are made in the image of God. But when we're around people that don't understand our growth and don't understand who we are, then what happens? We look at each other as enemies. As I always tell my Moorish brothers, I'm not your enemy. I get so much disrespect from men. That's why I said, I feel like Saint Germain. Give me 10 women, I can change this whole movement. Give me 100 women, I'll change the whole world. Give me the women and their children and let me educate them. Let me educate your kid that want to get a good education, that you want your son or your daughter to get a good education, to learn civics, history, finances, macro, microeconomics, agriculture, real history, real linguistics, and how to carry themselves as a noble or as an empress. Bring them to me. Because I got the education. When a person saying, well, how can you talk about education? I just show y'all. What my professor said, he's like, right on, Sheik. I got my GCU social media up as well. I show and improve. And this don't make me better than no one, because I have a bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in marketing and sales, a nonprofit business startup, and I have a dual master's degree. But it shows you that I put the work in. It shows you that I have an expertise. It shows you that I took the time to go learn something, and I challenged the pseudo and the Negrocentric and the Eurocentric academia with my oral dissertations, and I graduated with honors. I've written a plethora of books, and I'm a lecturer. So why would anybody that look like me want to disrespect their own brother? Why would any man that's a Moor want to disrespect me? And I show you that I'm part of the temple. I tell people you don't have to join the temple today, because a lot of people will tell you that they can nationalize you and they can denationalize you, and that'll change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and forefathers. You don't have to go through that dogma. I created my own temple and school, which is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I'm anointed and consecrated. I show people everything. Hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. Yep, I got it. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I show brothers and sisters everything that they want to see. Why? Because I'm transparent. I show them my degrees from the temple. I go in my room and get my IDs from the temple. This is my adapt degrees. You see there, say 720 Allah on here. And these just copies because I keep all my originals in my safe. These are from the temple. my Allah, my ADAPT degree, my 720 Muslim missionary degrees, my certificate. And then when brothers say that they study and then they say they part of the temple, they're showing and prove. I'm just like Hajj El. Like, I'm not going to diss the temple because the temple is right. But the people in the temple, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing. And then when I show our ID cards, let me see, can I find my cards? No, I think they are my safe. Yeah, I think they are my safe. But I think they're in my safe. I have to find my safe key, so I apologize. But we have three IDs. We have a temple ID, which is just for the Moorish Science Temple of America. It don't replace nothing. We have our travel ID, which is just for the Moorish Science Temple of America. It don't replace nothing. And then we have a tax exempt ID. Yes, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is tax exempt for the federal government, just like my temple in school is. And if anybody get on here saying that, they lying and ain't no truth in them. But these are my ADAPT degrees as being an ADAPT, being a Muslim, being able to teach the science from the temple. I've been showing this for years, but a lot of my brothers and sisters, it fall on deaf ears. And none of this stuff makes me better than no one. A person that's from the temple should speak the same way I'm speaking and show you that they shouldn't be talking about overthrowing no government because your ID is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these laws are not obeyed, justice must then take its course. If you don't want to follow the laws pertaining to the temple, go back to the place that the prophet found you. Give up your turban, your fez, and your button, and be who you are. We don't supposed to have no radical conversations or speeches at church. I mean, in the world or at work. It goes against everything that how the temple is set up. But you see these brothers and sisters with these radical things on the internet, and they're not abiding by the bylaws and the divine creed of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which they say they love Noble Drew Ali, because they're not part of the temple. And those that are part of the temple, a lot of them that's part of the temple that have all the information that I have, that should tell you something about your own brother and sister, that they'll lead you into a burning house. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I told y'all, try to go to the Moorish Science Temple on Martin Luther King. I bet you it's closed down. I bet you it ain't open. And right now, I'm dealing with my person that deal with houses in the city of Flint, that deal with foreclosure, because that's how I buy land. I own a whole bunch of land in the city of Flint. I don't own raggedy houses. I own land. I'm from West Patterson Street. Mount Elliott Street, I'm down there on the whole block almost. And me and my business partner in Vegas, my homie Dale Chavez, we getting ready to buy a whole block. And we're going to turn it into our religious and church and our business community that you're going to have to get buzzed in. And we're going to refurbish our own community. Easy. So I just wanted to show this before I get into my teaching, when brothers be saying this and that and the other. And I say, brother, that's not right. You got that from somebody off the internet that's trying to say that they can nationalize you and denationalize you, and they get everybody in trouble and they go to jail with that sovereign citizen goofy stuff. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. That's an oxymoron. I ask everybody, do they know what an oxymoron is? No, I say, well then. But I just want to read something before I get into the dissertation, because I got is it 2 o'clock? Okay, I know at 2 o'clock I got a phone call coming in. I want to be off by 2 o'clock. But I just read something. The Supreme Grand Body and the Supreme Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America in Mecca have been vested with sovereign powers by the great God Allah and his illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali to confer degrees of a Muslim of the West to a person or persons that has been raised 180 degrees from a shadow grave, son of a widow in the North Gate. I, Noble K. Goodman Bey, my obligation as a Muslim missionary. I hope y'all know what a missionary is. A missionary is you spread the mission as a minister by free will the obligation of the nobility of the elect of the Moorish Science Temple of America, teaching the Asiatics of North, South, and Central America to do what? Love instead of hate. As I travel the burning sands from the east to the west in 39 celestial steps with my staff of comfort, my companion, my beast of burden, and my Hebrew master logo of perfection, I do here upon my Holy Quran, Circle 7, demonstrate my degrees to raise fallen humanity from its imperfections with the degrees of social justice, of social duties, justice, charity, gratitude, and sincerity. In my travels, Allah, guide my feet in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and I shall not give ear to falsehood, hypocrisy, and deceit. As I travel the burning sands, I possess my charter of warrant and my dispensation, my authority to pass through all ports unmolested with my divine rights and privileges, all sons of a Muslim. And when I deal with my misnomer black Masons that call themselves some widow son, and all my European Masons know that they are son of a Muslim, must hold true to its obligation to nobles, Muslims, and the Mohammedan by words and deeds. I give my baptism certificate on the back of the temple. And these are just copies of my originals because I keep my originals locked up. You see on there, redeemed surety bond. It got when it happened in Chicago, the name given at birth, Curry Goodman, my free national name given at baptism, Noble, Curry Goodman Bay. What's my race? Asiatic. What's my nationality? Moorish American. What's my spirituality? Islamism. The day it happened, the CCRD, which is just an affidavit. The 1010-5905 is just an affidavit. What's my status? Free white person. I hope we understand about status and laws, which a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know. When I ask brothers, do they know the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment? Do they know manumissions? Do they know the Declaration of Human Rights? Do they know really what proclaiming, declaring, and having due process consists of? One that possesses this baptism certificate has been redeemed by the illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali and delivered by a free, simple, absolute deed that restored all rights and property. Said person has been revoked from the St. Peter's Trust and the Magna Carta Charter Christian Enrollment that held my person in bondage. I am a Muslim of the West, a descendant of Moroccans and born in America. We, the Supreme Grand Body, bestow privileges and benefits and grant dispensation of said person by birthright and original inhabitant of the north and southwestern shores of Amexima. I just want to read a little bit before I get into this little dissertation, because I got time. The United States of America, Free National Republic, 1774. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, 1863. The Amnesty Oath. Everybody that come here out of America, they have to do an amnesty oath. If you don't know that, look it up. I, Curry Goodman Bay, do solemnly affirm in presence of Almighty God that I will henceforth faithfully support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Union of States thereunder, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all the acts of Congress passed during the existing rebellion with reference to slaves, so long, so forth, as not repealed, modified, or held void by Congress or by decision of the Supreme Court, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all proclamations of presidents made during the existing rebellion having reference to slaves, so long, so for as not modified or declared void by decisions of the Supreme Court. So help me God. Here go my noble decree. And if anybody say they part of the temple or they follow Noble Drew Ali and won't speak from truth and acting all mad and angry because there ain't no truth in them. And truth shouldn't make you angry. You should be able to speak eloquently with love. And if a person ain't rocking with you, that's okay. It's only one temple. It's only one prophet. And so when you get these Moors on the internet talking all that radical stuff, that's not Moorish Science Temple of America. They'll say they the Moorish Science Temple of America. They'll say this, but we have bylaws and we have a divine creed. All you got to do is research it. It's free information, and then compare it to what they're saying. Because they're giving the temple and Moors bad names. Moors are not Al-Islam Muslims. I understand all spiritualities. I tell everybody, I'm under the triple rose. The Moorish Quran is not an Islamic book. It's not. We, the Supreme Grand Body and Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, grant sovereign powers by the great God Allah and his illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Greetings to whom this may concern. By the powers of this charter of warrant and dispensation, this supreme grand body bestow a title of nobility to member Kari Hakim Goodman Bey, that is descended from the royal house of Judah, and that of the house of David. That's Bible. We're from the tribe of Judah. What? Lineage of David by blood. That's Bible. That's very simple. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, agents of the Christian Church, the Vatican, or any of its corporations in the Roman Curia can't molest, trespass, or violate our divine rights granted by the great God Allah. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, to register all nobles of the house of El to their title of nobility, pursuant to Leviticus 25 and 10, which is under the Liberty Bell. The fez is the Liberty Bell. And when you get the soft fez and turn it inside out, we can have a conversation. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, pursuant to authority, all Moorish Americans are exempt from prosecution except murder. And when I say that, it's not saying you got to go and commit crimes. You have to be educated on that. The reason why I say that, because we shouldn't be out breaking laws. We shouldn't be out doing minor criminal acts. We shouldn't be out talking about we some sovereign citizens. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be law-abiding Moorish Americans. That's all I'm saying. I got a couple more to read because I still got almost an hour and I'm gonna be done. But it shouldn't take me an hour because I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I'm gonna go through a little bit and stop, and I'm gonna do a part 2 later when I make it back from this little interview. But 720 Allah decree, we the supreme grand body and grand council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, grant sovereign powers by the great God of Allah and his illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Greetings to whom it may concern. By the powers of this charter of warrant and dispensation, this supreme grand body bestow a title of nobility to member Kari Goodman Bey, that is descended from the royal house of Judah and that of the house of David. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And let's talk about agents of the Christian Courier, but you got one, that was for El, and you got this one for Bey, because I'm an El Bey. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, to register all nobles of the house of El to their nobility, or in house of Bey to their nobility. And then I got another one. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, to register all nobles of the house of Bey to their title of nobility, pursuant to Leviticus 25 and 10. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Moorish Americans are from the royal house of Judah, descendants of King David. So the fee simple absolute deed. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites. I broke this down yesterday when I showed you that the misnomer black man is the father of civilization, proved by the Bible alone. I broke this down, and I broke it down in J.A. Rogers' book. And then I broke it down in the Bible. And I broke it down in the Bible. So we shouldn't be arguing over things that we think. We shouldn't be arguing. We shouldn't be going around talking about the Bible, some white man stuff. I'm not with that, because the Bible tells you about the genealogy of Yahshua the Messiah. I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters. I'll never do that. I don't want to make my brothers and sisters look ignorant or stupider than they already are by them opening their mouths and then they're arbitrarily explaining something with no proof or no facts. With no proof or no facts, because most of us will lie. But in a court of law, you have to come with your evidence. And when you have no evidence, when you arbitrarily explain things, it means nothing. Because in the court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law. You can't go in a court of law and somebody defending you. Would you want to go to the court of law with somebody defending you, talking about, well, I think this, and somebody said this? Or do you want to deal with somebody like me that can give you precedent in law cases, doc number, Free Information Act, know about habeas corpus, know about quid pro quo, know what's going to happen before anything happened, know about the real consular courts? Because if you kill somebody, if a Moor killed an American citizen or vice versa, if an American citizen kill a Moor, that Moor is going to be dealt in the same parameters of that U.S. citizen. These is facts. It ain't no special law for no Moorish Americans. You're going to rot in jail. It's just facts. You're going to rot in jail. And then when you deal with a lot of prisoners in jail, they think they got some, oh, I got this Zodiac law, this kind of, man, no, it don't. They're going to think you retarded. And it don't mean nothing. I know I started telling you all these people names. How? Because I got their cases. So I just wanted to share that little tittle, and then I'll give this little bit of history that I'm able to speak on a college campus with misnomer students in the African-American department, with scholars from all over. This is part of my dissertation that I did when I was getting my dual master's degree in GCU, and I was able to speak in the African-American department to just illuminate some things. And I titled it, in different titles, but I just start out with a little bit, and then we'll get out of here. And I'll do part 2 later on today. So when people talk about initiating, is something wrong? There's nothing wrong with initiating. Going through elementary, going through middle school, high school, that's a form of initiation. If you study martial arts like I have, and now the house that I'm in is Wing Chun, aka sticky hands. You have to be initiated. You have to go through the ranks. It's just like when you graduate, your graduation cap changed. When I got my bachelor's degree, I had a certain regalia on. When I got my master's degree, you'll see the master cloak around my neck. And then when I finished my Juris Doctor degree, which is my PhD, everything could change. My hat will change. So that's a form of being initiated. And initiate means to begin, organize, to admit a person by what? Special forms of ceremonies into secret knowledge. But it's nothing secret with me. I'm going to tell you it's sacred knowledge, mysteries, or a society. And from the moment we are taught of by our Creator, we become initiates of the boundless infinitude of creation. The first initiation comes by way of the womb, where we learn to navigate the waters of the unseen. And once we pass through the Ankh, the Ankh that we wear, that's the gates of life. The mother, when I tell all my empresses, the woman, you, our Mayat, the garden that produced food and life. I told you, I need my ladies behind me. I ain't even tripping on what no man talk about with me. I could care less, because the movie that Nick Cannon had, what was it called? Chirac. You saw what the women said. Let's close our legs. And then we close our legs. We're not going to give these Negroes our jewels. They out here killing each other, talk about their Crips and Bloods, or this, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. But we are from the same neighborhood because we don't have any cultural history of who we are as a people. And once we pass through the Ankh, the gates of life, the mother, the candle of the gods, we then gain initiative, which is defined as the active parts in taking the first steps in any undertaking, lead, readiness, and ability to become the one to start a course of action. And as soon as we traverse the walls of our source toward the light of the unknown, we begin our rite of passage, which leads to the fulfillment of our purpose and our destiny, both as a collective and as individuals, given and commanded for us by the way of the supreme higher force. And there are 5 steps of initiation. The first is to know thyself, to heal thyself, to build thyself, to trust thyself, and to will thyself. When I say Aya Asha Aya, I will be what I will to be, the first is the last, and the last is the first. So knowledge or knowing is our natural gift, but also our goal is to know our higher, our true selves, which gets clouded by what? External and internal turbulence we call turmoil. Thus, our lives are a journey of rediscovery and self-realization, which leads to greater depths of wisdom, greater depths of knowledge, understanding, understanding, whatever catchphrase you want to use, because the road in some ways is more valuable than the destination itself. And the steps taken spawning humility, the daughter of grace, which then transforms into salvation, man becoming the savior they were always meant to be. Flow with me And always remember to add on, to trust and know. I ask a person, when you learn how to multiply, are you going to get rid of mathematics? And that's what we do. We start dissing things as we begin to learn. You don't diss something that helped you. I don't diss no spirituality. I add on, because all those are tools in my toolbox, which is in your Moorish Quran, chapter 5. These are the tools in your toolbox to do what? Make you an upright individual. You have tools. You got to use your tools. You're not going to throw away a tool because you get a new tool. And then just because you got a new tool, when you need that tool to build, you threw it away because you got a new tool. No, these are the tools in your toolbox. So when I talk about our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, I give him peace and blessings. When I show y'all all the books that the Europeans wrote over Noble Drew Ali, that know Noble Drew Ali that I have, that's what makes hurt my heart. When I show y'all all the Europeans that know what this Fez is, and misnomer Black Masons and misnomer European Masons, where the Fez in clandestine, and they have Mecca, Islam, Morocco, all on their Fez, you're not going to ask them what that means? When we let somebody tell us, oh, this is some Illuminati, and we don't know what signs and symbols consist of, because we give our power to someone else. Masonry and theology are two tools in your toolbox that most Negroes are afraid of. And then the next one, got it, clearly education and finances and health, because we don't know. A lot of these brothers are radicals. So I'm just going to give a little exposition of knowing thyself. Whoever does not know thyself does not know anything, but whoever knows self already has acquired knowledge of the depth of the universe. The secret teachings of Yahshua is in the book of Thomas, in your Bible. Man, know thyself. This is the ancient axioms by which we are called to the remembrance of whom and what we really are. In it is both the question and the answer, the death and the life of man, the snake eating its own tail, coming full circle, beginning and ending from, at what? 0 point. Through social engineering, we have been reduced to a one-dimensional status, which puts us at a severe disadvantage. For the world is multidimensional and is an ever-flowing paradigm, always growing, always changing, and creating. Hence, we must be on the same wavelength to maximize and realize both the depths and the heights of ourselves. Stagnation leads to infestation, which ultimately breeds self-destruction. Simplicity is naturalness. Naturalness is wisdom. And wisdom is its purest form, is common sense, which we've grown accustomed to ignore in modern days and times. When a person say, oh, you don't got to go through Thursday to get through Friday. I don't need to listen to no court jester dressed up. I don't got time to listen to no court jester. The laws, it was in there for a reason. To get to Friday, you got to go through Thursday, and you got to go through Wednesday. Why? Because that's just the system. Why do you want to change it? I obey the divine laws, for in doing so, we submit to the will of love that is intimately in us and all around us, leading to the restoration and healing of our estates. What your estate is, your consciousness. It don't have nothing to do with tangible. When people talk about, oh, we got to get our estate back, I say, what estate? Not no house that you didn't build, that some bank built, not some land that you don't know nothing about. Y'all won't even put your money together, and I'll show you how to own land, not a building. Heritage, Moors, who and what we are. The original man and her sons of the Asiatic nation are the originators of human family, founders and builders of civilization. The key to civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nation. The Moorish, who were ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. The Egyptians, who were the Hamites. I broke this down yesterday. Of a direct descendant of Mizraim. The Arabians, the seed of Hagar. Japanese and Chinese. The Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites, the Hittites and the Moabites of the land of Canaan. It's in your Bible. It's in your Bible. The Asiatic nations of North, South, and Central America, so-called Mexicans, Brazilians, Argentinians, Chileans, as well as the Colombians, Nicaraguans, and the native of San Salvador, are all one. The true Aboriginal Americans, all of these being Muslims. The Turks are the true descendants of Hagar. You can look in the Congress library and see that the original Turks are the Moors. All you got to do is look up in the Library of Congress. I'll give you the doc number. I have to go in my studies, but I have it all written down because I have to be manufactured when I was doing my dissertation in a university with all professors who are the chief protectors of the Islamic creed of Mecca, beginning from Muhammad the first, the founding of the uniting of Islam by command of the great universal and supreme force, Allah. And Allah is just an acronym meaning all law. When I ask my Christian brothers and sisters, what is the name of God in Aramaic? They'll say, oh, well, you're a teacher, you're a scholar, you're linguistic. I said, just tell me. Well, it's Allah. I know how you spell it, E-L-A-H. So I'm not here to argue with no one. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexima, Akiba line, Africa, whatever you want to call it. The dividing of the land between father and son in this context. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, as well as northwest and southwest, was his father's dominion. And in later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands, the Americas, they joined. And the Moabites from the land of Moab in your Bible, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit it in northwest Africa, Amexima. They were the founders and the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan, seeking new homes. It's in your Bible. The dominion and inhabitants extended from northeast and southwest Amexima across the great Atlantis. Why you think European Masons, I'll show y'all a historical Masonic book called Atlantis of the Latter Days, and the European call itself El Eros. I got the book over here. What? Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I got it. Yep, here we go. Here it goes right here. And every book that I talk about, I convert it to PDF and I make it available for my brothers and sisters. This book is unavailable. And it talks about everything I'm talking about. When we think it's some white man or some black man, they're going to tell you where all the science come from. And they hold this from misnomer Negroes, especially the misnomer Black Mason, because misnomer Black Masons have a potentate. They're not gods. And I don't mean no disrespect to none of my brothers and sisters. I'm here to educate you and to resurrect you from your shallow grave. When you call yourself some widow's son, I don't come from no disrespect. I come from wisdom. I'm anointed and consecrated. People should know that. I come from love. Until the present North and South and Central America and the adjoining islands before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean, this being the causation of the modern day formation of the planets into continents, whereas before it was one giant landmass. See, this is the thing what I tell my brothers and sisters. You lying. A lot of brothers and sisters get into the Moorish science when they go to prison, and they think it's some special science. And I tell brothers and sisters, that's why we're never going to have nothing together. Because everybody, what they do, they get on the internet and post stuff. That's all we do. And we celebrate people that we don't even know. But your own brother, your own cousin is a lawgiver. Your own brother, the European, call him Melchizedek. The European study under me. And this ancient Masonic book that most misnumbered Black Masons don't have, they'll never know what I'm talking about. Because they operate on spookism. Most of them do. Most of them do when they call themselves Black this and Black that, or I'm this and I'm that. But they won't take the time to educate themselves. They won't take the time to learn from their own brother, which is the saddest thing in the world. To me, it's very sad. It's very sad. And according to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, Black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation, from the Holy Land of Canaan in your Bible. And then you get these Negroes dissing the Bible. And I say, how can you diss the Bible and you call yourself a Moorish American? You can't even explain that. They get the rambling up at the mouth. Well, I thought I believed this, or I think this. Ain't nobody paying you to think. What do you know? Nothing. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today, without doubt or contradiction. And there is no one who is able to change man from his descendant nature of his forefathers unless his powers extend beyond the great universal creator, Allah himself. And when I say Allah, I'm talking about a perfect man. I'm not talking about Al-Islam. Because a lot of these Moors, when they go to prison, or a lot of these Negroes, when they break the laws, they go to prison and they talking about, oh, they got nationalized in prison. Can't no goofy Negro nationalize you or denationalize you. That'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers and your forefathers. If that's the truth, tell them Negroes to nationalize a Chinese, a Sudanese. Don't no Negro that you met on the internet have no power to do poo diddly. Not that. Only thing they can do is make you a Freemason. Period. And most of these black Masons, they don't know nothing because they 32, 33 degrees. And that's in meteorology when water freeze. That's snowman wisdom. That's the science of the Bible. Didn't Jesus die at what, 33? So if you know that, that means it's no wisdom. But they don't even know science. They just want to be a part of something, but don't want to be a part of their own brother, which is an educator and a lawgiver. That's what's appalling to me. That's what's appalling to me. And the time comes when every nation must worship under his own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. That's Leviticus 25:10 under the Liberty Bell. You see, a lot of people want to say they Moors when they locked up, brothers and sisters, but when they get in the real world, they jump right back to the goofy stuff that they doing, that pro-black stuff. They jump right in dissing the biblical scriptures. They start right back playing some colored thing or some Republican Party or use some religion to separate us, but not having any culture. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honor not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and color, which are misnomers. Ask any educator what is a misnomer. Look it up. Was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father and strayed away to the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing about. And in your Moorish Quran, chapter 47, when I start breaking down words, Amir, A-M-A-R, Amor, A-M-O-R, A-M-O-R-E, A-M-I-R, A-M-E-E-R, E-M-I-R, Omar, M-U-R, M-A-R, Amoru, A-M-A-R-U, Mr. These titles and words are all variations of the word Moor. Even when Shakespeare wrote about the Moor, M-O-H-R, is Moor. When you see that in old writings, when I'll be showing people in the Dark Ages and the medieval times, when it was writing about Moors in history, when in Europe, when they was writing about who you are, M-O-H-R. When I show you that, what's my man name? I can't even think of the Europeans when they talk about Moor. They was all educated by Moors. Martin movie, The Black Knight, all this stuff. So I'm gonna break down a Moor and more in different writings in history. So you got A-M-A-R, and I don't have time to break them all down, but A-M-A-R is Sanskrit, everlasting, eternal, immortal, deathless, imperishable. That comes from Spanish, Portuguese, which is love, Hebrew, to utter, to say, answer, appoint, avouch, bid, certify, declare, demand, etc., and so on. Sumerian, faithful, warrior, hero, calf, young bull. Akkadian, chosen. Armenian or Armenian, summer. So you got the word A-M-A-R-A, Amara. Arabic, taken from the root word A-M-R, meaning to command. Ethiopic, show, no. Remember, when you take the vowels out of things, you should be able to read the metanetter per se. So you got Amor, Latin, Portuguese, Spanish, love, A-M-O-R-E, A-M-A-R-E. Italian, love, A-M-I-R, Amir. Arabic, taken from the root A-M-R, to live a long time, command and live, to give orders, command, prince. Instruction, ordinance, decree, power, authority. Hebrew, the top, submit, treetop, Persian, king, Turkish, chief. Then you got Emir, E-M-I-R. Arabic from the root AMR. See the root of the word or the etymology when we're dealing with linguistics. Emperor, commander-in-chief, general, prince. Then you got Amir, AMEER, variation of AMIR and EMIR. Then you got Omar, Hebrew, he that speaks eloquent. Arabic, long living as a verb, to live long, to be long lived, to thrive, to prosper, to flourish, to flower, to bloom. I can go on and on with all the abbreviations. MAR, MOR, Syriac, my Lord, giving titles to all saints with the variant Moran or Moran, MORAN, MARAN, meaning our Lord. Aramaic, Lord of Mari. Old High German, MARI, meaning famous, meaning great. Hungarian, Moorish, of or relating to the Moors of their Moorish culture. Old Irish, big, great, large, important, powerful, extravagant, grand. Old Norse, famous, glorious, illustrious. Proto-Germanic, shining, renowned, famous, great. Ancient Greek, mighty. Latin from MERUS, meaning undiluted, sheer, pure. English, MORIAN, meaning amor. Proto-Slavic, MIR, meaning peace, meaning world. So I don't want to break all abbreviations down. And even in black laws, that the goofy Moors, no disrespect to no one else, I call out them goofy Moors because they love the Black Laws Dictionary. But in the 4th edition of Black Laws, Moor, an officer in the Isles of Man, who summons the courts for the several sheddings. The officer is like the English bailiff of 100. Black Laws 4th edition, mooring, MOORING, in maritime law, anchoring or making fast to the shore or the dock, the securing or confining a vessel in a particular station, as by cables and anchors, or by a line or a chain run to the wharf. A vessel is moored in safety within the meaning of a policy of maritime insurance when she is thus moored to a wharf or dock, free from an immediate danger from any of the perils insured against. We Moors are the vanguards of earth, guardians of the galaxy, balanced, restorers, champions, courageous, obedient to the laws of nature, beacons of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, masters of the celestial waters. We are love and bring peace to all 4 corners of the earth and to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. We heal and we lead by example, open-hearted and open-minded. We uplifters of fallen humanity and repairers of nations. We are not limited to structures nor the doctrines housed and craft inside of them. When somebody say, well, I thought you're supposed to do this. Don't no man tell me what to do. Especially an illiterate man that get all their understanding off the internet and they jump around and they not loyal to nothing. We are the living temple of the Most High, as is all, and we only truly seek to be one with the all and to help our fellow sea stars and brethren reconnect with the source as well. We do not divide and conquer. Once again, we do not divide and conquer, but we do not suffer voluntary fools. Be MORE, not less, and fulfill your duty, which is to serve, Peace Mufti Malik. That's one of my Muftis that jumped on my Instagram page, Peace Mufti. So when I talk about what is a Mason and what is Masonry, what time is it? Okay, I got a little bit more time. Okay, what is a Mason and what is Masonry? Moor and Masons are synonymous, and the universe reminds us of that fact by the marks of our palms, the M on each hand. The formal definition of a Mason is one who builds with natural and artificial materials, a bricklayer, a carpenter, a maker. These are symbolic to the potentials and the potency and the potentiality and the duties of man, as we are charged to be fruitful and multiply. Every child is a Mason at birth, as it means a mother's son, a Mason, and represents the natural order and divine balance of the creation. Therefore, a true Moor Mason is one who not only acknowledges the laws of nature, but adheres to them, always mindful to respect and give back to the sustainer and giver of birth. I didn't say Freemason, so don't take my words out of context, because a lot of your brothers are Freemasons, and it's nothing free about a Negro and black. You're going to always be a slave forever. Masonry is a symbol of disciplined learning. It deals with all manners of divine architecture, science, Gnosticism, cosmology, alchemy, geometry, algebra, numerology, astrology, philosophies, which when mastered and combined are called magic per se. It is the high culture, refined by the original ancient ones, simplified and given to the people to harness the cosmic energies of existence, to better connect with the unseen but nonetheless substantial reality, which we owe our being to. Yep, I'm on Facebook as well and YouTube, Noble. Gratitude to you. I know you're still in Florida, so peace and love to your family. For through every being on this planet, excluding the jinn, the clones, the robots, all those androids that they like to say, we all are Moors, Masons, physically, and not all are Masons spiritually. As I mentioned earlier, a true Mason adds on and only destroys what is necessary for goodness to spread and prevail. However, there are those who abuse knowledge and in turn abuse the grand title of Mason or Mason, those who only seek to destroy and want of selfish gain and substantial materials. These are the Freemasons, who were not evil in origin, but like all other institutions, were infiltrated and polluted by the lower self, which we call Satan. These were originally keepers of the Moorish shrines and the preservers of the ancient science, which was and is vital to the maintaining of nations. When I tell people, it's a lot of science in Masonry, but they don't know how to use it. And when I come and I speak to my European Masons, that's sons of Muslims, they be quiet, and I put the light out. When I say put the light out in Masonry, it's no disrespect. It's just supreme wisdom coming. And they know that they only have a tittle of wisdom. And so when supreme wisdom comes, they have to listen. There's no form of disrespect. And that's the thing what our brothers do. When our brothers know they don't know nothing, when they know they only study on the internet, when they know they only have a third grade comprehension, when they know they dropped out of middle school and high school, what are you going to tell me? From no disrespect, what are you really going to tell somebody? What you heard, what you think, what you believe, how you feel, based off emotion? But we are given the keys while the Moors went into darkness to pay for our karmic debts, for we were not wholly innocent, as the condition of the hairs shows the proof of the fact. And there are two spirits of man that exist: Moors, which represents morals and expansion, and the other people, which symbolize coldness, bitterness. It don't have nothing to do with color. It's an arrogance that exists on both sides of what? The Negro, blacks, and color. It's an arrogance on both sides, especially these radical Moors that hate somebody else that don't have the same view of them, or hate somebody spirituality and don't understand that you should be under the triple rose. You should have a clear understanding, because you're not here to destroy, you're here to illuminate, and you're here to educate. If not, then you just like the enemy. When I talk about the first 5 tribes, the Els, the lawmakers, the givers of Northgate, Elohim, of the cosmos, likened to executive, legislative branches, mean God, force, or power, Bays, governors of the land in more civilization, law enforcers of the Elohim, obey the law, the muftis, which all my nobles are noble muftis. I'm an El Bey, Mohammedan judge. Executive branch means ruler, landlord. Then you got the days of the degrees of the eternal zodiac, the South Gate, master scientist of astrology, cosmology, as well as other disciplines, meaning knowledgeable, which I am. You got the Als of the law, earned degrees in mathematics, geometry, psychology, means the same as El, but Al, goddess, is feminine. I wouldn't did that. If I say I'm so knowledgeable and wise, why I can't go in academia and get the same education that I got anointed in my set? If I'm so wise and I know mathematics and I know history and I know spirituality, why you can't go into universities and come out with degrees like I have with honors? If it's some white man thing, if you know something, because what you know in your set, you should be able to take it if it's international. If not, it's meaningless and it's only for set. And you can't resurrect a person that don't believe in your man-made religion. And then you got the Alis, the lawbringers, the Aethero, the title of those who have mastered their craft, like myself and others. The gifts completely. It means we have been exalted, or the most high. We are the most noble. I don't get disrespect from no Europeans in Arizona, no professors, no potentates, no masons, none. I only get disrespect from my own people. From my own people, they jump on the internet with all that crazy stuff, and I say, man, I don't operate like that. I'm not here to disrespect my own brother. The 5 civilized tribes came together to form a union called the Iroquois Confederation. And this confederation formed the first of the 4 constitutions, the Articles of Confederation, which later spawned the Articles of Association, the Declaration of Independence, and the original organic Constitution of America. Even when I break down Americas, American equals AM plus ERIC, and in the parentheses you got an A, plus AN, AM equals B, equals to exist. I'm just giving a mathematical equation. Live, lives, essence, essentials, a spiritual entity. Erica, A in parentheses, can be with or without the final A, equals, is the root word of the Latin word Erikios, or Iricos, or Iricoius, E-R-I-C-A, E-R-I-C-A-C-E-O-U-S, equals Heth, forest. Eric, A in parentheses, is a name meaning ruler, always ruler, and ruler forever. And it's a suffix meaning belonging to, adhering to, attached to, part of, connected to, or connecting with. And putting it all together, this means that we, as Moors, we were meant to rule with the forest, that we are the essence of, being that we are divinely connected with, and our reflections of. Therefore, we were removed from the forests and placed in the concrete jungles to cut us off from the vital essence of who and what we are. Hence, the forests are dying, and so are we. According, let me see, what time is it? Okay, I got a little bit more time. According to both the 1828 Unabridged Webster Dictionary and the 1936 Webster's Unabridged 20th Century Dictionary on the English language, an American is defined, and I quote, eloquently, with a silver tongue, an aboriginal, or one of the various copper-colored natives found on the American continent by Europeans, the original application of the name. So clearly, there has been a case of identity theft on this continent, and the fraud known as U.S. has committed atrocities in the name of America when they are neither Americans nor their counterparts. They have perpetuated fraud upon the natives, and through social engineering have caused a mental separation of the original and the primitive people of this continent, specifically the Asiatics of Northwest America, those that call themselves Negro, Black, and Colored, and African American. They act as sovereigns when they are at best citizens and or aliens. Some Europeans would argue, I was born here, so that makes me an American, which is a false statement if you study civics in academia like I've done. Like I show y'all my real degrees. I'm just not on here. I lecture in a college campus. I showed y'all my master's degree. I showed y'all my bachelor's degree. I'm soon to have my juris doctorate degree in Indigenous People Law and Policy. I'm not no one on here playing. I don't jump on here to play. The only people that come on here playing is misnumbered Black people with their religion or that pro-Black stuff or their religion or their political fight. I don't care about that. Your geography doesn't determine your nationality. It's your bloodline and your ancestral lineages that does so. I'll give you an analogy or a parable or an example per se. If 2 Scottish people live in China for 20 years and have 3 children, are those children Chinese citizens of China? And the answer is obviously to anyone with a logical mind. Thus, the same goes over here in the West. Just because someone steals something from you doesn't make it theirs, even though they may possess it. it still doesn't truly belong to them. Like if you find something on the street and you say, it's mine, I found it, and you don't put the proper post in the paper, you didn't find nothing, you stole it. Why? Because you know it ain't yours from the beginning. You know it ain't yours. And in your heart, you know it ain't yours. And you ain't find nothing. Somebody might have been scared away. Somebody might have dropped something, so it's not yours. However, the true heirs refuse to correct their status and live by the standards of their lineage. So they unwittingly give up their birthright every time they call people in America who aren't and call themselves black, colored, Negro citizens, of which they aren't either. I'm with reparations, but a Negro would never get reparations. And the Democratic Party know that. The Republican Party know that. Every person with wisdom know that. The only person that's going to get reparations from missing black numbered people is the people that created you. So when you talk that Black Lives Matter stuff, who control the Black lives? It has been said the truth will set you free. And the time has come for all to worship under their own vine and fig tree. And every tongue must confess their own and live and stand on the foundation of their ancient forebears. And so when I deal with Moors on the internet, and when I break down all law, and when I show them that I'm from the temple, and I'm an educator, and I created my own school so you don't have to go through that dogma, how can a person say they thought something and they're not from the temple? How can a person say they know something and they don't know how the temple is set up and they don't have the documents? When people getting on here that might be from the temple will lie to you, telling you that they can nationalize you or denationalize you. Why? Why do we play those games? Because we want an easy way out. And the only way and the only thing you're going to get is going to jail. That's all you're going to get. That's all brothers and sisters get. One of my books, when I showed you how we created so much stuff in history, and one of the books I gathered and compiled, because I got 20 books that I gathered and compiled. 15 are out right now, but I'm getting ready to put 5 more out, dealing with allodial deeds, dealing with just so many topics that I lecture on the college campus and got standing ovation. I gathered and compiled history books. I wrote a book and gathered and compiled a book titled Divine Creed of Moorish Islam, and the European Masons at my college wanted to buy the copyrights from it. I gathered and compiled a book teaching you about what this fez mean. And so-called Black and African-American history is quite simply American history, as well as world history. For the things that I mentioned run this world and provide safety and convenience to billions, including the few weapons on the list that I give. I'll give a little bit more, then I got to get ready, man. I want to give a little part. Let's see, where is it at? Okay. So when a person be like, they can nationalize you and denationalize you, and no Negro can nationalize you and denationalize you, you can be a part of a group of people like the temple that know who we are. All my brothers and sisters know who they are. But I don't nationalize you or denationalize you. You must proclaim, declare, and have due process. And if you don't know what claiming, declaring, and have due process consists of, that's your fault. If you don't know that the religious laws trump the world, that's your fault. If you don't know the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, if you don't know the religious rights of the indigenous people, if you don't know the House during Revolution 75, if you don't know what the SF 181 form pertaining to ethnicity, that's your fault. If you still filling out forms and you fill out Negro, Black, or color, or the blacks of the African continent, that's your fault. Clearly, any powers that be know that you don't know history and civics. I'll give you just a little preface, a guide to claiming your nationality. You can be part of a brotherhood and a spirituality that we talk for you, where you can be around your peers. Decide on your Moorish appellation. When my brother Brian Hicks Bay say on his album, Transportation of Raw Materials, what's your appellation? Here, when you're dealing with people that deal with wine, don't they ask for the appellation of the damn grapes? What's the appellation of the grapes? Why do you think they ask for the appellation of the grapes? The title, the attribute, the mishal. And if you are given attribute, then just add your el or your bay as a prefix or a suffix. These are the two most preferred titles. Just like Noble Drew Ali is Timothy Drew. He didn't get rid of his last name. Your last name ain't a slave name. Your last name is the coat of arms. When you go to Corsica, you see that more. You see that Corsica flag? When I deal with the Netherlands of Swarty Pirate or Black Pete, but most religious people, Al-Islam Muslims, they tell you that your last name is the slave name. And that ain't true. Noble Drew Ali, Timothy Drew. He annexes his El Bay, his Ali, his El, his Ali to his name that was given to him by his mother at birth. verbally announce out loud in the presence of relatives, associates, and the public, 2 or more witnesses. In the Bible, when 2 or more gather, there I am. You can make a public post and make a public record recording of either electronically or by way of a writ stating how, when you get married, don't you put it in the paper? And in a certain way to put things on notice. When you have a business, when you create your business, isn't one of the ways of law to say you got to put it in the paper and put it on notice to let people know it's a new business the same way? But we don't know that because we're not dealing with facts. I, free national name, am not black, Negro, colored, African American, Afro American, etc., nor am I a United States 14th and 15th Amendment citizen. I am a descendant of my ancient Asiatic Mobile forefathers and foremothers, who are the aboriginal inhabitants of North, South, and Central America, where no man or organization, etc., can change my divine lineage. No man, no Negro, I don't care, old, young, can get on here and change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and forefathers. All they can do is make you a member of their organization, or they can make you a Freemason. Anything else, they lying. How can they? And how can they change that unless their powers extend beyond the great universal and supreme creator of everything seen and unseen? I declare my nationality, for which I am a free Moor, and my nationality is Moor American, thereby of Asiatic Mobile Moorish descent, reincarnated and domiciled where? In America, Morocco. My national flag is the red flag with the 5-pointed green star in the center that was restored to Moors in the years of 1925 by our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which testifies to the fact that my Moorish nation exists prior to the enslavement of the free Moors. And I'm going to give this last piece and I'm done. My national flag represents our divine creed and principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And with the existence of the Moorish American nation to which I belong, and is my national home, to appreciate my inheritance and my birthright, which is your culture. I, my free national name, declare my Moor American nationality, whereby I am recognized by the constitutional government and the nations of the earth as being a free Moorish American national. Understand what I'm saying? If you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. And were the instructions of our Prophet Noble Drew Ali and myself, as a lawgiver in the flesh, are 5 points of substance, 5 essential qualities of real man, real woman, spirit, flesh, soul, nationality, and creed. Your nationality and creed was taken from you. Therefore, persons branded as blacks or any other racial ethnicity, which is misnomer, are considered 3/5 a person, a man according to the Constitution, because in the taking of one's nationality, you also strip them of their creed, which sets the standards by which men conduct themselves. For my Islamic brothers, Surah 13:11, for each one are successive angels before and behind him who protect him by the decree of Allah. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. And when Allah intends for a people ill, there is no repealing it, and there is not for them besides him any portion. Nobody can give you freedom. Nobody can give you equality or justice or anything. You are a man. You take it. That's what El Haj Shabazz Malik said. Malcolm X. Everybody like Malcolm X, don't they? Okay. Well, dogs and slaves were named by their masters, and only free men named themselves. That's Dr. John Henry Clark. It got to be understood, overstood, whatever catchphrase you want to use, that being a national, having your national name. That's what national means. Having your national name, all of us, like every other state status, begins mentally. In other words, you must know and feel that you are free. You must carry yourself as a sovereign, not a sovereign citizen, in all aspects of your life, which ultimately means you are by, for, and of law, the common and natural law of creation, but that you also navigate the laws of man accordingly. No paperwork, none of the stuff that I showed, none of that cannot and will not set you free. No fiat, no money, no Negro talk about they nationalize you and denationalize you while they laughing at you. Won't set you free, and nor will arrogance or self-pity. The only key to freedom is knowledge and application of law divine, obedience to naturalness and simplicity, courage, and compassion abound. Continue to learn and grow as to become active Moors, participating in the uplifting of the world and enrich posterity of the Moorish nation. And many active and conscious Moorish Americans across Northwest continent, which is America, have been consistent and dedicated in their duties and responsibilities to answer up to their Constitution principles in exercising our unalienable rights and our divine birthrights. Moors have been working to take their place in the affairs of men. And I'll lead y'all with this little last piece. When I told y'all, a lot of mayors already signed the Declaration Proclamation. When I go back to Flint, Flint is so much turmoil with the mayors and the city council. It's a joke. I call it, excuse my candor, a shit show. All you got to do is watch it, pull it up on YouTube and see the city council, seeing Neville Lewis and all those people on there arguing. And then when you see other misnomer black people in political houses, which you see, I forget the lady, she called herself the super mayor. See what's going on. See what's going on in that area. So I'm just going to break a little stuff down. If you live in these areas, go to the city hall with a sound voice with respect and ask them, what are we before the Civil War? What were we called? And then start pulling out documents. When I go back to my home city, Flint, Michigan, I'm going to go right in the mayor's office and I'm going to show y'all they have this in their office. Every mayor do. How? Because if it's a Moorish Science Temple in your area, and the Moorish Science Temple of America is a charter historical place, and in Flint, Michigan, the Negroes not active because the building is just there. It's there. On December 22nd, 2011, Rahm Emanuel, mayor of Chicago, published a proclamation that affirmed that Moors are the Aboriginal and indigenous people of North America, South America, Central America, and the adjoining islands. To date, 7 other city officials have proclaimed the very same proclamation. But I got them, it's about like 12, 13, almost 14. But they're not going to tell you something if you don't go down there and bring it up. A proclamation is is the act of proclaiming or publishing, which is an avowal, which is an open declaration or a formal declaration. This act causes some state matters to be published or to be made generally known. Just like when I showed y'all, you can get this paper from the CCRD, the County Clerk of Recorder of Deeds. If you want the original or if you just want a copy, telling you that some 1099 ain't no trust fund, showing you that those so-called grand sheiks been lying forever and they know it. But to be published or to be made generally known for the general public, and by virtue or the said matter being placed in written form and issued by proper authority. Article 4, full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. And the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, proceedings shall be provided and the effect thereof. I'm going to give y'all the list of the true identity of the Asiatics of Northwest of Mexico, and it's documented, known, and respected. So I just gave y'all Chicago. I gave y'all the mayor in 2012. It was December 22nd, Rahm Emanuel. Then you got in Omaha, Nebraska, Jim Smith, the mayor. This was in 2012. Tacoma, Washington, Marilyn Strickland, mayor, January 4th, 2012. Charlotte, North Carolina, Anthony R. Fox, mayor, January 2012. Baltimore, Maryland, Stephanie Rawlins, mayor, January 8, 2012. Fayetteville, North Carolina, Anthony G. Chavin, January 2012. Lynchburg, Virginia, Joan F. Foster, mayor, 2012. Little Rock, Arkansas, Mark Stadola, mayor, January 8th, 2012. Trenton, New Jersey, Tony Mack, mayor, January 2012. This was in 2012. Tyler, Texas, Barbara Bass, mayor, January 2012. Atlanta, Georgia, C.T. Martin, council member, January 2nd. Nobuju Ali Day, they have it in Washington, D.C., mayor, September 11th. Nobuju Ali Day, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, John Street, mayor, January 2021. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, David Cohen, president, the city council, September 1991. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Senate Resolution number 75. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Senate Resolution number 75, April 1933. use of names, bays and L's. Research what I'm telling you. Sundry Free Moore State Records of South Carolina, January 1790. South Carolina, Journal of the House of Representatives. So I just want to stop right there, man, because I got to get ready for this little interview. And then I'll come back later, man, and give y'all a little bit more history. But as I said, I'm going to continue to teach every day. If y'all like the teachings, you can give a donation to our temple and school, which is Cash App $KG Bay. If you don't, I understand. Please subscribe to our temple and school YouTube channel and Facebook page, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. There, every Saturday at 10:30 a.m., we have Adapt and History class. And every Sunday at 2 p.m. AZ time zone, we have Sunday school. So please support my brothers and sisters. Support my personal pages. I have my own personal YouTube page at Kari, IBENA, Hakeem Goodman Bay. And like I said, I have companies that we sell books that we gather, compile, and turn to PDFs. So you can download on your tablet at mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z. mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z. Also, our other company where we bound and we print expensive books and we sell them for a fraction of the price that Amazon sell them for is binditbooks.com. We also have my other company. It's called Moorish Haberdasher. Moorish, HABERDASHER, MoorishHaberdasher.com, where you can get all your Moorish American regalia, fezzes, turbans, etc., suits, shoes, everything. You can get all that right on our website. And later on today, I'm going to break down what this fez means. I'm going to show you the history of the fez and give you a little synopsis of the meaning of the fez and why it's historical. So with that being said, man, I give you all gratitude for taking time out your day. I love everyone. I'm not here to argue with my brother and sister. I'm not here to debate no one. Like I said, once I give gratitude to my alma mater, which is Grand Canyon University, where I got my dual master's degree from in first century history and religion and Christian studies. I give honors to my other alma mater, which is Clear University, where I got my undergrad in business management with a minor in marketing and sales and nonprofit business startup. And I give honor to the Moorish Science Temple of America, where I got my degrees as a Muslim, as a Sheikh, able to teach Moorish science from love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I give honor to my mother, my father, and all the people that love me. I give honor to all my muftis, my Moorish divine ministers, my nobles that's under the sound of my voice, that accepted me as your brother, your Sheikh, and a map here at the BBT. My mufti, Noble Malik Riel, that's on my Instagram page. I give you honor. And all the rest of my nobles that's not here today, I give y'all honor. And I give y'all honor to those that follow me to tap in. And I hope once it's on your heart, you feel okay with giving a donation to our temple and school. Because whatever you give, I'm going to give it back 100-fold. Because I have the ability to do that. I have a full library. I will give you things. And you get a tax exempt for a receipt from me. So I love y'all, man. Anything that y'all want to ask me, hit me up in my Gmail at Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY at gmail.com. And my office number is 602-473-8767. We have to get back into loving our brothers and sisters and seeing our brothers and sisters as gods, not seeing our brothers and sisters as competition, not seeing our brothers and sisters as the enemy, because I'm not your enemy. I have a clear understanding who we are, and I'm here to educate us, not to separate us, because I don't use none of my abilities and none of my power and none of my magic that the Creator has bestowed on me. I use it to build. I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill. So with that being said, man, I give y'all honor. I give y'all love. I give y'all peace. And I give you true understanding. And once again, I'll be live later on today. I say about like 6 p.m. AZ time zone. Once again, I love y'all, man. Peace, light, and illumination.